Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start with this from XRP Wins. Standard Chartered sees XRP overtaking Ethereum by 2028 as utility grows. Now, in this current cycle, I think XRP is going to flip Ethereum's market cap. It's going to become the #2 cryptocurrency. There's even a good chance it will flip Bitcoin's market cap as well. But beyond that, I think XRP is going to solidify its spot as the #2 cryptocurrency. It's definitely going to outpace Ethereum. But there's so many other networks out there as well that could replace Ethereum. Hedera could do it. Casper can do it. I mean, XDC can do it. But it's not just about overtaking Ethereum. Ethereum is slow, it's expensive, and I think people are moving past it now. You know, the market's maturing, and if something doesn't have a logical use case in the real world, in other words, if it's not cheap and it's not fast, most people are just going to turn away from it anyway. Ethereum's days were numbered a long time ago. It got a free pass and still shit the bed. That's all you need to know about Ethereum. The rise of global stablecoins on the XRP Ledger, real utility and real adoption. So they talk about all the stablecoins that are on the XRP Ledger, like RLUSD, USDC, XSGD, EUROP, USDB. But there's going to be so many other stable coins. Companies are going to be launching their stable coin on the XRP Ledger. Banks are going to utilize the XRP Ledger as well. This is just the beginning of something so much bigger. But what about Tether? You got to hear this clip.
Today, why doesn't Tether fit inside of the Genius Act? What about Tether makes it not compliant with the Genius Act?
Well, Tether can begin to comply, but the disclosure requirements with respect to revealing exactly what securities they're segregated, they're U.S. dollar denominated, they're treasuries. That sort of disclosure has to be compliant. It has to be compliant with our laws here, and Tether would have to have an operation that was doing that. It can't be backed by other types of collateral. It's got to be very high quality collateral like U.S. Treasury securities.
As I understand it, Tether is backed by U.S. Treasuries in a large chunk of it, but there's also things like Bitcoin and gold, things that are very much not United States dollar denominated. So that really kind of changes.
It have value, but it doesn't meet the requirements here, and I think that's you're hitting right at the difference.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so if Tether wanted to be United States compliant, it would have to be completely backed by cash-like instruments. What would that unlock? What would compliance unlock for Tether if they did decide to trade their Bitcoin and their gold backing for just only cash-like instruments? What would that enable them to do?
They could also create an entity that can do this, and I would think that might be a logical path for them. But what it does is it opens the door to them for what I would call the 21st century payment system. And if you think about what we're stepping away from, it's a pretty clunky system that's been developed 1970s, 1980s, the SWIFT system. If you think about the time that it takes to transact, particularly overseas transactions, and I'm presuming Tether's involved in a lot of that, the efficiency that this brings to bear is enormous. And the fact is that the dollar will be dominant in this system. And I think you want to be a player there. So I think there's going to be a lot of attraction for people who want to be involved in payments to make certain that they comply with our laws here. And again, that's going to be great for dollar dominance around the world.
And he just said that Tether being backed by Bitcoin does not meet the standard in the United States. And remember, Tether's own CEO said they don't need the U.S. market. So there's a good chance Tether will be out in the United States. And when that happens, I think it will depeg, because other countries are now following the U.S. lead in stablecoin regulations. And the US, all they did was just copy Mika. So Tether really is just going to be out everywhere. Eventually, it is going to collapse out, and it's going to take Bitcoin with it. Ripple lawsuit, no August 15th deadline. Now, I shared where we seen Bill Morgan say this, and now Mark Fogel is also saying this. So the SEC case is not delayed until August 15th, as both Ripple and the SEC await Judge Annalisa Torres' decision on their joint motion for an indicative ruling. Fogel asserts that the ruling is anticipated at any moment with no set timeline, he cited. And that's what I've been telling you. This could end when we all least expect it. And honestly, that makes a lot more sense than putting a time frame on it. In other words, when they tell you that something is going to happen on a specific day, guess what? That day comes and goes and nothing happens. Out of nowhere, this case is going to end. That's what I think is going to actually happen. Merging XRP and Cardano would create an unstoppable force. I mentioned how Cardano wants to open up the most yield for XRP holders. Cardano, Charles Hoskinson, wants to make sure that XRP holders can gain passive income from their XRP. What I like about this is the fact that the Cardano community and the XRP community are no longer at odds. They're not fighting each other anymore. They're starting to realize that it's one massive network forming, and it's these crypto networks working with other crypto networks. We see Hedera coming together with Algorand and Ripple. You see XDC coming together with Quant. Ripple coming together with Quant. Ripple and Stellar, they have a long-lasting ties together. Some of the same creators. But this is how this network was always seen as evolving. In other words, it wasn't one crypto to rule them all. It's a handful of cryptos to take over the world and move all the money. Crypto CEO sends urgent warning to XRP holders. Now, this is absolutely ridiculous. This guy in this video is an absolute clown. So Edo Farina says, be aware, XRP holders, self-proclaimed cybersecurity experts are now telling people to avoid using cold wallets. This is either the dumbest take of the year or the most criminal. When you buy a cold wallet like Ledger, Tether, or even a budget option, your crypto is in your hands. It's not in the exchange's hands. So what is this guy's true intentions here by telling people, well, look at Uphold created, this whole custody solution, and it's built off of millions of dollars. And he's telling you you should be storing your crypto on the exchanges. I'm the first one to tell you, not your keys, not your crypto. Get your crypto off the exchanges. No exchange is 100% safe. And the National Cryptocurrency Association put this out today as well. June is Internet Safety Month, a great time to review your crypto security hygiene, starting with understanding your wallet options, hot or cold, custodial or non-custodial. Each choice affects the level of convenience, complexity, and control you need to manage your crypto. So here's the different types of crypto wallets in case you're not aware of this. Hot wallets, it's like connecting your regular wallet to the internet. Kind of like storing your crypto on an exchange. Cold wallets, it's like storing your crypto in a safe. Much more secure, but less convenient. Custodial, allowing someone else, like an exchange, to hold your crypto for you. Non-custodial is you control everything yourself. More responsibility, but complete control. And that's the option I will take time and time again. because I just don't trust any exchanges. I mean, you don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Uphold, again, I don't see any issues with Uphold at all. I'm not a fan of Coinbase at all. Every time Bitcoin achieves a new all-time high, it seems like right away Coinbase goes down. I don't like the idea of that. But to go out there and say that cold wallets aren't safe, that's just absolutely ridiculous. And these people are cybersecurity specialists. It's like, come on. This guy is a clown. He put on a uniform and talked shit. That's all that happened there. XRP Ledger launches a DAO. XRP Ledger is launching XAO DAO, its first ever community-led governance body, from proposals to grants and on-chain voting using XRP. This marks a major shift towards decentralized decision-making on the XRP ledger. You know, everybody should have a say in what happens with the XRP ledger if you're an XRP holder. And the XRP ledger, it's consistently evolving, and it's becoming more of a community network, community-driven network. And I really like the idea of that. I always anticipate where the XRP ledger goes from here. Analyst says Bitcoin's $100,000 level is being cemented as the base price for investors. You know what I heard when I read this? That Bitcoin is up only from here. And the reason that they keep telling people that is because they want to get these new retail investors to continue investing into Bitcoin. And even the mainstream media news, they're complicit in this because they say the same thing. Do you think Bitcoin's going to keep going from here? Every time Sailor's on one of these shows, they're always like, what do you see for Bitcoin over the next couple of years? And right away, Sailor says, well, it's going to continue to keep going up because now it's backed by energy. It's something handed down from the gods. It's sound money. It's the only money that the world should ever know. It's like, come on. We all know what happens with Bitcoin once the cycle ends. It comes crashing down. And when it comes crashing down, all of a sudden, all the hype is gone until we get close to the next cycle. Because this is the reality of what's really happening with Bitcoin right now. Is Bitcoin demand slowing? Spot demand for Bitcoin is still rising, but the pace is cooling. 30-day demand has dropped to 118K Bitcoin, nearly half the 228K peak on May 27th. It's now below trend, signaling softer appetite. Is momentum fading or just reloading? Now, I'm going to be the first to tell you, Bitcoin is going to still have one more push up. Where is it going to go? I think it's going to struggle to get above 120K. I think the market is changing. I think crypto's changing. Retail investors are no longer seeing Bitcoin as a good investment, a good return on investment. I mean, think about it. If you put your money in now, maybe you get a 2x, and that's a very bullish scenario. 2x from where it sits right now. You could put the same money into XRP and easily get a 10x from here. Everybody's predicting $20 plus for XRP. I still think it's going to go much higher. But, you know, Bitcoin, I think what's going on is this. You have all the hype around it, and when you overhype something, people start to think to themselves, why are they pushing it so hard? You know, what's my other options? Where can I make the most money in crypto? And it's definitely not in Bitcoin anymore. I think most of the money that you see in it is all of these big bag holders, and they're just looking for more retail to get in so they could be used as exit liquidity. But I'm still thinking that there's a good chance XRP flips Bitcoin's market cap in this run. Look at all the catalysts for XRP. I think once it starts going off, it's going to continue to go upward for a good period of time. I think this is the year utility starts to change everything. And even institutions, they're not going to come here looking for Bitcoin. They want to come into this space and they want to make money as well. They want to have something that they could utilize that people would be interested in, where they could make money and the customer can also make money. XRP does that. XLM does that. XDC does that. There's so many other cryptocurrencies out there that are way better than Bitcoin now. It's not the past anymore. We're heading into the future, and technology is evolving at a very fast pace now as well. And the more that technology evolves, the more it leaves Bitcoin behind. But until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.